Hi guys, it's me Sybil and welcome back to my channel, the Sybilenhle Quality Lifestyle Show. So on today's episode, I wanted us to discuss how to entertain kids during the holidays because I've heard a lot of parents, complaining on social media and other platforms that, oh my God, now I'm going to have these kids all to myself. What am I gonna do? Because obviously, with this modern times, we are busy, we're working, we're doing other things, and our kids are in aftercare and then everywhere. So we are not really used anymore to having the kids the whole day all to ourselves, especially now with this lockdown. So it's just you and the kids, you know. And but then there are those of us who are fortunate enough to be those, oh yeah, not me, but yeah, fortunate enough to be staying closer to your parents, so you know that over the holidays you just take the kids, the grannies kids love that also. So yeah, unfortunately now with lockdown, there was limited time for you to transport your kids. If you are like us, was like more than 2,000 kilometers away from home, and they say lockdown starts on Wednesday, so you have to deal with your kids, like it or not. So yeah. Okay, so I have some few tips that can help us to entertain the kids, from morning to sunset, and make sure that it's all healthy stuff, something that will stimulate our kids, not something that is just gonna, corrupt their minds or whatever, like TV the whole day. So I have a few tips here that I want to share with you on how to entertain our kids during the school holidays, not just these holidays, next holidays, December holidays, depending on where the kids are. But if the kids are with you or your kids are with someone else, this is, something that you can also implement wherever the kids are. Okay, number one is food, guys. Obviously, we know that kids love food, kids need food, kids need to be well fed. So, food is the most important thing if you want to entertain your kids. Make sure that your kids are well fed because kids need energy. Kids are always busy, they are busy bodies, always running around. So they need lots of energy. They need lots of energy, and they get that from food. So with food, number one, the first thing that I want to talk about is cereal. You need to make sure that you have your cereals, and make sure that you have different kinds of cereals. Your cornflakes, your wheat bix, your rice krispies, your fruit loops, but most importantly, oats. Oats is very healthy, guys, healthier than the other cereals. And then also there's the soft porridge. Soft porridge is the healthiest option of them all, and it's not processed, it doesn't have excess sugars or what have you. So yeah, soft porridge is your number one option. But with your cereals, what you can do to make sure that you spice it up and also you add more healthy and more healthier element to it is adding fruit in your cereal. So your fruit like your apples, your bananas, strawberries, blueberries, kids love those in the cereal. But if your kids is one of those kids who are very picky with their food, they want their cereal and nothing else, just make sure that you serve the fruit with the cereal, not in the cereal but with. So you give a bowl of cereal, and then on the side you give some fruit, a banana or an apple, strawberries or blueberries or peach, depending on the season that you are in, and depending on which province you are in, because different seasons for different province. Could be in Cape Town now and you have your grapes, your peaches, your what have you. You could be in Limpopo and you have your lychees, your oranges, whatever. So depending on where you are, just make sure that you stock up on those fruit. Okay, so the second thing that you need to have is, oh yeah, also with back to your cereal, you can also serve it with yogurt, fruit and yogurt, so that goes a long way. You will not be bothered by the child will be full for longer. So yeah. The second one, sandwiches. So we know that sandwiches are a lifesaver because you cannot cook from morning to evening. Because if you want to make sure that your kids are well fed, you must have, meals that will fill them and keep them full for longer. But then you cannot cook in the morning, cook in the afternoon, cook in the evening. So to avoid that, make sure that you have sandwiches and you have a variety of sandwiches that you make for your kids. So for example, you can make your polony, which is typical for us black people. You have your cheese sandwich, you have your egg sandwich, you have your chicken mayo, you have your ham for those who eat ham sandwich, different sandwiches from different people. But then in your sandwiches, what I want to talk about especially is make sure that you add your vegetables. And I know that most kids or some kids will tell you that I don't like veggies and this and this and that. But fortunately for you, you are the parent. This is the right time to make sure that you enforce or you get your child used to eating the veggies. And the sandwich is a sandwich is a good example where you can do that, because if for example you're making a polony or you're making a cheese sandwich, you add your lettuce, you add your cucumber, you add your tomato, or you can add them all at once or you can add them separate. And then you add also, make sure that you also have your sauces like your mayo, your tomato sauce, your barbecue sauce. That's something also you can add to your sandwich. And guys, it makes all the difference in the sandwich. Don't just go your typical route. I know us black people, we like, polony cheese, butter, that's it. And then, but the problem with that is that after a few minutes, the child is back, Mom, I'm hungry. you know so to make sure that does not happen frequently, add your veggies, guys. I'm telling you, it keeps the child full and it's healthy also, not just full, it's healthy and it's nice taste. It makes all the difference and it makes the sandwich taste more nicer. So yeah, let's try that. Your veggies, your sauces in your sandwich. And also to make a variety of sandwiches. Don't just give your child cheese sandwich from Monday to Friday. They will get tired. So you need to have variety, like you have your peanut butter also there. Try also your jams, different flavors of jams, just to make food time interesting time for the kids. Okay. Also, there are those that love tuna. So you can also make a tuna sandwich with mayo and some few veggies, some cucumbers there, and then the kids will love it. Okay, another thing that you can add to your lunchtime or your tea time is hot dogs. Kids love hot dogs, so they're also a lifesaver. If you can afford to buy, your Viennas or your Wors or whatever, and your rolls whenever you can, also make that. They love it. Okay, so now the next one on our list is snacks. So with snacks, guys, most with meal time, you have your breakfast, you have your lunch, you have your supper. But then with kids, they cannot just eat those 3 meals a day and they're fine, because they're busy, they're always playing, they're always running around. So they're using a lot of energy. Some of the things they need them to focus on, the games or board games or whatnot. So make sure that you give them snacks in between their meals. So depending on you, the snacks can be things like noodles. You can give noodles as a snack or as a lunch or as a tea time snack, whatever. But noodles, an egg, fruit, yogurt, dried fruit. What else do I have on my list? Nuts like peanuts, cashew nuts, different types of nuts. I don't know. Also, you can bake for your kids. They love baked things like biscuits, scones, muffins, brownies, things like that. Kids love that. And in between your meals, you can just give them your biscuits and juice or muffins and juice. It keeps them happy. Also, so with snacks, avoid giving lots of sweets and chips and all the junk chocolates and stuff. Yes, give your kids some sweets. Kids need sweets every now and then. I mean, they're just kids. But you cannot give your child sweets every day. It's not healthy, it's not advisable, it's not good for your child. So you can give your sweets maybe once or twice a week, some lollipops and a chocolate or whatever, but don't make the mistake of, when you see that, oh, it's going to be the holidays now, you run to the supermarket and you buy stacks and stacks and stacks of junk just so you can keep your child away from you. Whenever they say, Mom, I'm hungry, go take a chocolate. No, make sure that your snacks are healthy so that the child is still developing. They still need, and it also keeps them away from things like your diabetes, your obesity, and all that unwanted, unnecessary things. So avoid sweets for snacks. So give healthy snacks. Also, liquids. Kids need to be hydrated all the time. They're always running, they're always sweating, they're always tired. So make sure your child is hydrated. Number one, make sure they drink water, they drink fruit juices, they drink tea. Kids love tea and bread. They drink tea, they drink iced tea, they have for hot summer days your ice lollies, your ice cream also every now and then. It's not that bad, ice cream. And then yes, so just and avoid coffee. Coffee is not you know advisable to give to kids, especially kids that are under the age of 13 or 18, I don't know, but coffee is not advisable. Your energy drink, I see some parents buying their kids energy drinks. I don't know, energy drink is not cold drink, guys, so avoid that. Also avoid fizzy drink like a cool drink, especially Coke. Please avoid that for kids. So fruit juice and water, that's the best option for hydrating kids. And then there's your ice lollies and your suckers. Yeah, that's also healthy. And then when it comes to entertainment, yeah, let's make sure before we entertain our kids, this is the perfect time for us to teach kids to do chores. This teaches them responsibility. This helps them also with their self-esteem. So make sure that your child does their chores, especially in the morning when they wake up. They must learn that you don't just wake up to run to the lounge and watch TV, or turn on your phone and play game or whatever. First thing, they must do some chores. Obviously, the chores must be age appropriate. You cannot ask a 12-year-old child to clean the whole house and then cook and wash the dishes and whatever. The chores must be age appropriate, and that you can get on Google, like what are the age appropriate chores that I can give to my child. Also, I also have a list of chores that you can make for your kids: folding the laundry, taking out the laundry, cleaning their room, making their bed, cleaning their bathroom, etc. So those are the chores. Washing the dishes, those are the chores that you can ask your kids to do, but also depending on their age. So make sure that it's age appropriate. Next one is reading. So don't allow your kids to not do anything academic for the rest of the holidays. So make sure your kids read. Buy books for your kids if you can, or take them to the library to pick up some books, obviously, that are age related, Also, you can, if your child has a phone, you can download an interesting book that you know that your child will love to read and they will enjoy. And also introduce some reward system whereby you say, if you finish this book, I will give you this or do this for you. That, keeps kids interested in reading. And also make sure that your kids do their homework. They go through their homework that they have done in the previous term. This will help them to keep their minds sharp so that when they go back to school they are not too rusty and they don't even remember. Because at one time I was helping my son to do his homework and he even forgot how to spell one. It's like, Mom, I can't even spell one. But that's something that he knew. He knew how to spell to write 1 up to 20. But because it's been, I think it was a week or so, or 2 weeks, that he hasn't done, he hadn't done anything school related. So make sure that your kids do their schoolwork, even if it's the previous term's work. It will go a long way, because remember that the second term's work is the continuation of the term 1 work. So also, if you know that you cannot help them to start with term 2, just allow them to go through or help them to go through the term 1 work in the meantime. But make sure that every day child does something. It doesn't have to be 3 hours, even if it's 30 minutes or 1 hour that your child needs to spend doing their schoolwork. And then also allow your kids to play games that are not digital related, like board games, or they're playing outside on their bikes or ball or whatever. But now with this lockdown, make sure that if they go outside, they don't go out of the gate. And if they go outside, if you stay at a complex or you're in a standalone, then go with them outside. Make sure you're there to supervise them. They're playing on their bikes or whatever, but make sure that they go out to get some air, and make sure that they play games that are not digital. So also, that leaves a little time in the day for them to play digital games like your cell phone games, your TV games. And also it leaves a little time to watch TV, because obviously kids want to do that. It's interesting for them, so allow them, but just make sure you don't allow them to do that from sunrise to sunset. So just a little while, maybe you can sit for an hour or two. You can play on your phone game, or you can watch TV or review. But just make sure that you supervise that, and make sure that it's not the whole day, because it's not healthy. So in the evenings, it's good also to make time to sit with your kids for maybe devotion, where you read the Bible with your kids. You teach them about values, you teach them about manners, discipline, peer pressure. It's also a perfect time to introduce things like peer pressure, warn them about friends and stuff like that. Teach them how to speak to the elders, how to play with other children, how to not be rude, and things like that. But make sure that every day you allocate time whereby you sit down with your kids, even if it's for an hour, where you go through something together. You learn something, you read a Bible, you read a book, that you will teach something out of that, and then pray with your kids. It's the perfect time to do that. But make sure that you do that every day. It helps you get closer to your kids, and it also helps your kids to learn what you expect them to be, how you expect them to behave. Because I know there's some parents that think these things happen automatically. It's not automatic. You have to sit down with your child and teach them the values that you expect them to live by. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and please comment down below, and share the video. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you and bye.